Hey folks, it's your buddy Mike Messier, once again correctly uh, guessing the results of the WrestleMania 39 Night 2 main event. Roman Reigns defeating Cody Rhodes. As I predicted, I gave Roman a 90% chance of winning this match, and I fully illustrated why he would win, because that's the way the WWE buries AEW and buries everything that's not WWE. And some of you folks in all the wrestling Facebook groups, the Foreign Object, wrestling fans of Shane McKenna, Lazda's Pro Wrestling Group, a lot of you doubted me. And now you're eating a plate of sorry Mike Messier shit. Okay? So let's talk about the show while I wait for all your apologies from all the assholes that doubted me. Let's talk about these matches. Brock Lesnar and Omos start the show. It was your typical Brock Lesnar match, typical Omos match. Big guys doing big guy things. It was good for what it was. Brock victory. I had no problem with that match. It was exactly what it should have been. Brock, gets the victory, and maybe they can resurrect him for something else. But yeah, Brock Lesnar defeated Omos. Out of 5 stars, I'll give it 3. Would be nice. As you know, I'm not a big Brock Lesnar fan. Omos, I actually think has an interesting thing going on with that height. We'll see. The next match was a real clusterfuck. Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez versus Natalya and Shotzi versus Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler versus Chelsea Green and Sonya Deville. I was hoping for the upset. I was hoping for the Chelsea Sonya team just to do something new with that women's tag team division. I was hoping that they would win, but they did not. So there you go. The winners are basically Shayna and Ronda. Ronda getting the submission victory over Shotzi. And I believe Ronda beat Shotzi in a one-on-one title defense maybe 6 months ago. So Ronda, I think they just trying to do something with her, keep her away from the singles titles, give her this, tag team run. And who are the WWE Women's Tag Team Champions right now? Off the top of my head, I can't recall, but whoever it is, I'm sure that they'll be fodder for Ronda and Baszler pretty soon. Not a great match, a star and a half. It wasn't that good. Intercontinental title match, this thing really picked things up. This was a match I think everybody will look back fondly upon, kind of a semi-sequel to the Gunther Sheamus match from the Castle a couple of months ago, 6-7 months ago. This was a really fun match. I'm sure it was fun to be there live in the audience. My buddy Tantalizing Tony, I believe, was there tonight. This was a real, chest chopping affair. I was hoping that Drew would win, but it seems like Drew is kind of in the same position that Asuka's in, and they're just there to put up good fights, but to lose to other people. And in this case, Drew actually ate the pin, which is a little surprising to Gunther, and Gunther retains. But this was probably, I think people probably look back at this as the match of the night when all is said and done. The first night's match, I think, is up for grabs. Some people really think it was Rhea and Charlotte. Some people think it was a tag team title match. I kind of liked Ray and Dominic from night 1, but this is night 2, and this was a really good, brutal match. I mean, you have to give it 4 stars, maybe 4.5. Let's give it 4.5, just to be kind. Bianca Belair versus Asuka, kind of tough timing for the ladies, because under normal circumstances, I think people would be kind of praising this match as well. Bianca and Asuka, but coming off the physicality of the previous match, the Intercontinental title match, I think it was a little unfair that these women were kind of put in this position. Not that they couldn't handle it. It's just they're obviously not going to chop the shit out of each other. And I still feel that Bianca, she is very athletic. She's very good. She really has a lot of crowd love for her. But I don't see her as being smooth. I think I've used the term choppy in the past. She is getting better. But Asuka, kind of like a Drew McIntyre. They're just there and make other people look good at this point. 2.5 for this one. It might have been better. I said, like, if it was earlier in the card before the Intercontinental title match, if those two matches were flipped, but you only know these things in retrospect. Let me get a little bit of business with Snoop Dogg. The Miz kind of continued their thing from last night. This people will be talking about, is Shane McMahon actually injured, or was that some type of work injury? Kind of interesting that this happened a couple of times tonight, where they did close-ups on someone who was probably in the ring with someone who was injured. Later on, they do that with Edge and Finn Balor, but for this, they did all these close-ups on The Miz as Shane McMahon kind of crumbled to the mat, seemingly in legitimate pain from a knee injury. We will talk about this opposing sale of WWE too in a minute. By the way, if you happen to be watching live, you can comment or question if you want. But then Snoop Dogg, I don't know if he was freeforming or ad-libbing or whatever, but Snoop Dogg got a couple of shots in on The Miz and kind of his version of the People's Elbow. Poor Miz, beaten by zombies, beaten up by Snoop Dogg. Can't get the break. One time he headlined WrestleMania, he got outshined by The Rock. Edge versus the Demon. I was not into this match. Not that these guys didn't work hard. I can't get into Finn Balor, to be honest with you. And on another level, this Edge, comeback, it's a little long in the tooth. We're going on 3 or 4 years now of Edge's comeback. These guys, they're just not my favorites, to be quite honest with you. I give it a 1.5 stars. And again, injury. It seemed like Finn, or the Demon, was injured. I don't get it. I mean, is he the Demon? Is he part of the Judgment Day? What exactly is this guy? It kind of seemed like a baby face versus baby face match. It just really made little sense to me. I give it a star. I didn't like it. I do appreciate that they worked hard. It's just not my favorite match for me. So, wow, I guess we get to the end of the show. There was, I think, one less match tonight than last night on night one. Roman Reigns, Cody Rhodes. Interesting match. Good match. I predicted Roman Reigns would retain. A lot of people doubted me. A lot of ignorant wrestling fans doubted me as usual. But I was proven to be 100% correct. Roman Reigns retains with a pin. And Cody gets to eat that pin on behalf of all of AEW and all of independent wrestling. WWE gets to rub it in your face. That's why they have this result. That's why he even was in this match. Was to lose and to prove the WWE superiority. So there you go. I would give it 3.5. I think the match might have suffered for me personally. I think I was just burnt out on WWE by the time we got to this match. But they did do a lot of good stuff in this thing. The interference from the different Usos and the Solo, it was a bit much. We've seen it before. Nice to see Sammy and Kevin Owens get out there. That was kind of predictable. But I just thought that this was a good match. It was actually probably a great match. I just feel like it came at an unfortunate time. This is, if you watched the NXT thing, if you watched one of WrestleMania, if you watched the Hall of Fame, you're going on 15, 16 hours of WWE in a 3-day. So that's a lot. So I feel like these guys lived up to what they had to do. I think Cody could possibly still get a WWE World Title run before he's through, but I do feel like they want Roman to get to at least 1,000 days of the title reign. And probably, I still say, and people might think I'm nuts, but I think they might be pushing him to go all the way to beat Bruno's record. Like I said before, people say, oh, he's going to do movies. Well, you can do a movie shoot in a couple of days. You know what I mean? 5 days, 7 days, you can be in a movie. So I feel like Roman's, they're just going to push this guy for a while. Overall, it was a fun WrestleMania weekend. It kind of worked out for me. I don't think in the years past I've actually done this where I've really given my weekend over to the WWE as much as I did this year. This year was a special circumstance. I had some transitions in my own life where pills were involved in that, just moving locations. But yeah, I had some things going on, so I was eager kind of to just relax and put the TV on and the music and all that good stuff of watching WWE. And I give them credit. They had a good weekend. Now, as far as the potential sale, I don't know if you guys have heard this. This was just breaking tonight. But if you're a wrestling fan and you're on social media, you probably heard it. Apparently, now we're hearing that there's a deal with WWE to kind of merge with the UFC and be bought by the UFC's parent company, Endeavor. And there's all these ramifications of, Dana White will keep his position, and Vince McMahon will be, kind of in charge of WWE. How old is Vince now? I mean, I was telling somebody that Vince, I think, is pushing 80. So, I mean, is he really up for this? But we'll see. Here's to it. My opinion is I'm not totally sold on this. Weren't we told 6 months ago or 4 or 5 months ago that the WWE had sold to Saudi Arabia? So what happened to that? That just dissipates in thin air now. So I'll believe it when I hear it, when it's official. I'm not doubting the story. I'm just saying we've heard this before with a different buyer, Saudi Arabia, basically. So who's to say? I mean, I think it would be interesting. In some regard, I think it might hurt the UFC, just where some folks would have a hard time kind of differentiating, the predetermined nature of WWE versus the, what's supposed to be a shoot sport of mixed martial arts fighting with UFC. So I think it might confuse or muddle the case for UFC being totally legitimate if their co-brand or their sister company is WWE. But maybe I'm just thinking too much. Maybe I'm not giving the people out there enough credit for their own intelligence. I mean, I have been accused of that, of not thinking the general public is as smart as I am, but I'm usually proven accurate, as I was tonight with Roman Reigns, my prediction. Okay, folks, well, I hope you had a good WrestleMania weekend. If you didn't watch, if you have Peacock, you can see all the stuff that happened. Okay, a few little nooks and crannies that I forgot about. There was actually a Nancy Sullivan t-shirt last night. I believe night one WrestleMania, which was now 2 nights ago. But Saturday night, I think at the last match, when they cut to the audience, somebody was wearing an old school WCW woman t-shirt. And I think that t-shirt was made in 1990 when Nancy Sullivan at the time was doing the woman character and the manager of Doom. So I think there was actually a sighting of Nancy, which is nice. I mean, because we know that unfortunately she met a tragic end. We don't have to go into that, but we know that her life ended sadly. But it's nice to see that some fan out there still had a t-shirt, or maybe it was a specially remade t-shirt or something. But it was nice to see Nancy Sullivan's face kind of pop in out of nowhere. And what else? So the Charlotte Flair smiling after the Rhea Ripley loss, I've been getting some, I've made my opinions known. People don't quite get why that's so offensive to me. But, Charlotte Flair goes out, she loses this kind of, epic match, really great match against Rhea Ripley. And she smiles about it. And, and I'm saying, why is she smiling? She just lost. But, somehow the idiot marks out there find a way to justify that. I can't justify it. So anyway, folks, that's it. It was a good WrestleMania. It was, I do like the 2-night format. It's a little bit draining when you get towards the end of it. Maybe in the future they could put the Hall of Fame, maybe put that with Survivor Series or SummerSlam, perhaps, because it does feel like it's a little bit, like one too many nights of WWE. So maybe push that Hall of Fame to another time of the year. But if you have comments or thoughts, you can put it down. If you don't. Okay, folks. Well, that's it. Mike Messier, one wrestling fan. Enjoyed the show and have a nice bar mitzvah, whatever you're doing this week.